All right, so now here we have Stacy Roest, who's going to be sharing his thoughts on character, and I want you to listen for two things. One, what are the two big boxes he talks about at the end that he thinks are important? But more so, I want you to listen for what he says before that, which I think is very interesting, and I want you to think about why it might be important.
And I mean, now you're in a GM position and you're a part of a successful team in Tampa. Like, is there any lessons from that? Like, how do you teach guys to do that? Is it a character thing early on? Are you looking for those intangibles of the type of people like you mentioned already, or how do you do it?
Yeah, but I think the draft is tough. The draft is tough because you don't get to see. You talk to their junior coaches, you talk to their billets, you talk to their friends, and everybody's got good things to say about all these players. The character is key, like you said. Drafting characters. You because now you draft them, you got a couple years before you sign them, and obviously if you draft them, you're hoping that you sign them because you've made that commitment to them. You don't get many. You get 7 picks a year. If you trade a couple, or maybe you can obtain a couple, but now you're with the salary cap, you have to the draft is key and your development is key. The high character is critical for growth mindset, for like you said, being around good people. You want your training staff to want to be around that player. You want your coaching staff to be invested in that player. And if they're good, hardworking, high character kids, that's a big couple of big boxes for us.
Now, I'm sure you were able to hear what Stacy Lightning held in high esteem. The Tampa Bay Lightning, what do they hold in high esteem? What were the two big boxes for them? I'm sure you heard that it was one, high character players and hardworking players. So they want high character, they want hardworking. So those are probably no surprise to you. And we've been digging in on what character means, right? Unpacking it so we can understand how it applies in different scenarios. And you've also heard that you should be hardworking your whole life. Now, most players think that they're hardworking. That's one thing, especially elite players. Yes, I'm hardworking. I want you to dig in on that a little bit, just on that one comment. What does hardworking actually mean to you? Are hardworking compared to who? Right? You have to change the standard of where you think you lie in that category. Because if you're not the hardest working guy in your team or the top three guys in your team and you're not in the NHL, then you're probably not working hard enough because everybody else, everywhere else, has guys that are going to bat every day. So you got to be able to elevate your work ethic. Now, enough about work ethic for now. But I wanted you to hear what he said before that. He said, I want a player that the trainers want to be around. I want a player that the coaches are going to be invested in. So now he's not talking about the player, he's talking about the person. He's not talking about how fast they are. He's not talking about how great they stick handle. Trainers don't care about that. Coaches might, but coaches aren't going to be as invested unless they like the person behind the skill. So these are two interesting aspects which talk about relationships and how they matter, and the relationships you build within the game matter. How you treat people matters, because people like Stacy Roest are actually thinking about that beforehand. Is this a guy that my staff is going to want to be around? Is this a guy who's going to help the locker room? Is his energy going to serve our culture that we've been building here for years? And let me tell you, the Tampa Bay Lightning have a pretty darn good culture. 2020 Stanley Cup champions. So they take that very, very seriously. And I hope that changes your perspective on how you can apply character in different areas. It's not just on the ice. It's not just your body language. It's not just how you're with the things you're doing on the ice. It's also how you're treating people off the ice.